Hey everybody, it's Julie from A Beautiful Horizon, and today we're talking about ways to regain control of your finances. Hey y'all, thanks for coming back. So today we are talking about what to do when your finances are just a mess and just money's leaking everywhere and you don't know what to do. This sounds horrible, right? Well, one of the things that I have done in the past is a clothing spending freeze where you just don't buy anything. No new clothes. I've seen a couple people do this on Instagram recently, and this is something that I did a couple years ago for a couple years just because we didn't have money to be spent on clothes. And you might see some of the clothing hauls that I do on my channel now and think, wow, that's great that she's buying new clothes. But there was a time when I didn't buy clothes for a long time. And so now I'm trying to catch up and like have clothes again because I've worn out everything over the season when I didn't buy clothes. But it was important for me to do that, and it was okay. Like, I survived. So I know that you can do it too, and I believe that you're going to come to a point where you can buy clothes again. But if this is what you need to do right now, you can do it. You can do it. I did it, and you can do it too. Second thing that you can do is a pantry challenge. I think different people have different names for this, but I think it makes a lot of sense. Pantry challenge. You're doing a challenge to just eat out of your pantry, and I've heard people do it for a month. I've done it for a month before, where you just try to spend as little as possible on groceries and eat out of your pantry as much as you can. And I created a printable to help you figure out how to do this, and that'll be in the description box. You can click the link to download the free printable, and hopefully that'll help you. It'll kind of help you figure out the process of figuring out what you have, what you can make now, and what you really need in order to make full meals for the weeks ahead. Number 3 is what everybody talks about, a budget. And this might look a little bit different for you than it looks for me or for that person or for this person, but make sure you know what your income is every month. And if it's flexible, there are ways to get around that and still, have your priorities and prioritize what is going to come out first and what is less of a priority if you don't have as much as you're expecting. But just knowing what your income is going to be, what your expenses are, what's fixed, and what is something that you can control, like your groceries or your gas maybe. I mean, some of that you have to get where you need to go, especially if it's to your job. But there are going to be some expenses that you can cut and some that you can just put off for a while. And just having that all out on paper, although it's a pain, is absolutely necessary. It's absolutely necessary to know what's coming in and what's going out and what you can do to help the balance. Number 3 is when you make purchases, think through them. I've heard a lot of people talk about different amounts of time. I like to sometimes put something in my Amazon cart and think about it for a couple days. I do this a lot actually, and I think it saves me a lot of money because I'm not doing as many impulse purchases. So I will put something in my Amazon cart and then I will wait 2 days, 3 days, a week sometimes. Sometimes I just don't go back because I decided I don't really need this. It's more of a want or a luxury, but I don't need this right now and it's not going to get me closer to my goals. So think about it. If you need to think about it for a week, do it. If you don't feel like it's really still something that's really important and urgent, just wait until later. Maybe something better will come along. And make sure that you and your spouse, if you're married, are on the same page about what you're spending your money on. Sometimes I'll find that I want something, but when I really think about it, I have something already that I could use and not have to buy something. I do this all the time with recipes, and it probably saves me a lot of money too. I'm not running to the store all the time. If I don't have something for a recipe, I'll use something else. If I don't have black beans, I'll use pinto beans. If I don't have, I'm trying to think what I do. Oh, if I don't have like tomato sauce, but I have tomatoes, like I'll blend them up in the blender and then use those, or whatever, just think outside the box. Have a little rebel spirit in you. If the recipe says you have to have this ingredient, but you don't have it, but you have something similar, it's all good. They're more like guidelines instead of rules. And the last tip is to save regularly as much as you can. Sometimes you might think you don't have any money to save, but you could save $1 from each paycheck, or $5 or $10, and after a while it will add up and you will have less anxiety about money because you'll have a little bit of savings. Even if it's only $100, backup, then you have some backup. Or if you can get up to $1,000 emergency fund, then that can free your mind so much from the worry of running out or going from paycheck to paycheck. One thing that I have done is put my tithe to my church. I'm a Christian, and I put my tithe to my church on auto. So maybe some days it feels like you don't have enough money to give, but you want to. Sometimes putting it on automatic withdrawal, if your church has that option, can just take the pain out of it and make it so you don't even think about it anymore. So maybe that could help you if that's an option at your church. Also, I have shared a couple of hauls in the past from Walmart grocery pickup. And y'all, it has saved me money. There is no impulse shopping. I can go back and check my cart as many times as I want to make sure it's under the number that I want it to be under. And I can change amounts of different items, and I can go check my pantry and come back and change something, and it has helped me so much. I also have a link, I think it's $10 off of your first order, and I don't want to promote something that I don't believe in, but I love this, and so I'm going to promote it. And I'll also get $10. That helps me so much, and it just was really mind-blowing to me that it's so helpful, and I have totally stayed under my budget ever since I started using Walmart grocery pickup. And I like Aldi. I've done a lot of Aldi hauls in the past, but even though things are cheaper there than they are at Walmart, I tend to spend more because I'm not sure exactly what my total is. It's really hard for me to take a calculator when I have 3 kids with me, which is another reason why I like pickup. So I have saved more doing the grocery pickup rather than going to a cheaper store like Aldi. And sometimes I buy things in bulk, and that still is, something I'm going to do. But for my everyday grocery shopping and staying in budget, it's the way to go for me. If you don't have a Walmart in your area, there are other stores that do grocery pickup. They're still going to save you money. There might be a little fee, but you might save on impulse purchases or just not knowing exactly what's in your cart as far as the total goes. So I think it's worth it in the end. I've heard Meijer does it. I've heard Kroger does it. So if there's one of those in your areas, you can check out how to get the grocery pickup through that store. So those are my tips for today. I hope that they helped you. If you have a tip that you would like to share with us, please leave it in the comments. I'm not an expert here. I'm not a money guru. I'm just a mama who has been through the ups and downs over the years, and hopefully something I say can help somebody. If I can help you, that will totally make my day. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this a thumbs up if anything seemed helpful. And subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!